and Martin McGregor. Um, so we just finished doing Black Magic Boot Camp. We'll talk about that a bit. Got a few subjects. I'm just running my mouth until people show up. Yeah, I always just go live impromptu, and people just flood in, like they have a little bell on.
Nice, nice. Well, cool. Well, this has been a lot of fun so far.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So Martin, when you were coming here, at first I was like, I know his name's familiar, but um, I couldn't quite place you until Coetting Jr. told me that you wrote The Path to Satan. I read that book when I was in my really early 20s, and you had assigned different letters to different demons. The letter for Paimon was K, that you assigned. And then someone recommended me a movie, had Paimon in it. And then I saw on my friend's TV screen a guy going, okay, Kyle with a K. Did I say K enough? K. I'm like, okay, yeah, Paimon wants me to summon him. And I realized something. Paimon was eventually the demon who told me to stop being racist. I didn't figure this out until like an hour ago. K. Now I'm like, oh, there was a hidden meaning. Foreshadowing. Yeah, we got people on.
Nice.
Caught you live. What's up? This is it. I'm here. We're here. Let's go. Hello there, Isaac. Hey, Toasty. Hello, living denizen of the world. Greetings. What guitars are those?
All right, so let me show off my guitars. So I've got, right here, I've got my Epiphone. So this is, I call it my, we can swear on this channel?
Yes, all you want.
So I call this my shit bucket because it sounds like it is music that is going through a bucket of shit. It's got really, really dense pickups on it. It's a cheap guitar. This is my first bass that I learned on. It's, I've got it tuned down to D all the way down. So what, D, D, G, whatever, I've got them all tuned down one step. They're all tuned down one step so I can do some corn to it, get it sloppy. I know corn goes further than one step, but this guitar can't go further than one step, for those of you who know what that means. This one here is the one I play with the most. This is a Jackson SP bass, so precision, and it's got precision and jazz pickups on it. It's really, really clear, really beautiful guitar. I love this one. And then this last one is, this is my my 5-string bass. So I've got this tuned down to super, I think that's a C, B or C. So it gives me that super low string that I can do my doom metal on when I do doom metal. Ta-da! And let me tell you this, guys. Learning how to play an instrument saved my life. When I needed to get sober and needed to give my hands something to do with all that energy, Satan gave me very clear instructions. He said, learn an instrument. I don't care what one, but you need to learn an instrument. And I had the excuses of like, but I'm not musical. I don't have any musical talent. And you do. Every human being does. So I'm going to pass that on to you guys. Learn an instrument.
Okay. How's the boot camp going? It ended the day before yesterday, but it went absolutely wonderful. There was a total of 7 people here, 6 of whom were instructors. The other 3 were very serious black magicians. Everybody involved learned a lot, including the instructors. It was crazy to see this guy's place. The entire backyard he's probably got like around 10 separate fancy ritual spaces just in the backyard, not to mention the room we're in now, or the living room. Have I told y'all about the current of couch?
The current of couch. I remember, but I think that you and me and Jesse were a couple shots in at that point, so I don't remember much.
So, my live stream regulars and I are the cult of couch. We venerate the couch current and the couch god. We honor the mysteries of couch. The way this came about obviously started with the couch. You see, I had this really old hand-me-down couch, broken off. One day I noticed it was just broken as hell. Like, one leg was missing from each of the two sections. They wouldn't screw in anymore. So I was like, I propped it up with a couple of things, like a roll of toilet paper where one leg used to be. So I'm live on air and I'm just joking around with my audience about how I have no clue when this couch broke. And I don't even know when it broke. Now, I was drinking at the time. So I'm like, yeah, I have no idea what happened. It was the sex. And that was a genuine, like, oh. And then I got roasted by my whole audience for that. And now we're the couch cult.
That's funny. That's the kind of fun stuff that you can do when you're kind of in this vein, you know. Whenever I was really young, probably 20, 21, we had a house that me and my girlfriend and one of our roommates stayed in, and we partied a lot. And one night we had this old mop and bucket that sat in the corner, and it had been used to clean up some spill, and it hadn't been emptied. So over time, it became this homogenous entity that we started to revere as Muppet. And anytime we would start partying, we would just begin making offerings to Muppet. And by doing so, you know, a Cheeto here and a Cheez-It there and a splash of alcohol now and then. And Muppet began to grow. And it began to take on a whole new life of its own. And it became a thing where literally if you came over to our house to party, the first thing you had to do was bring an offering to Muppet or we would just make you leave.
Wow.
All right.
Can we take Samael's question?
Yeah.
He's saying he had a random chick or a random owl. I thought it was a girl. A random owl landed on his arm last night. Is that a sign or just random? That's a sign.
Yeah.
An owl just lands on your arm. That's a sign of the spirits, dude. Birds are not just birds. Birds are messengers.
Owls are. Oh, go on.
I was going to say, and very often spirits in and of themselves. I would be looking for connections to Stolas. I would be looking for connections to Beelzebub. I would be looking for connections to the winged deities because that's absolutely a sign.
It could, keep in mind, Hecate has spirits that serve her called Strixes, which are like these owl daemons, these vampiric owl daemons. Additionally, Lilith and Odin are both attributed to owls as well. So, yeah, it could be any one of those spirits, or it could just be, it might not be like, oh, I'm attributed to owl, I'll send an owl. It could be the owl is symbolic.
Nice.
Not just of the person sending it. Fellow bassist, I have a dean.
Hello.
Sean's here again. He's always in my lives.
What's up, Sean?
So, do you like the band?
Electric Wizard? Oh, yeah. So, yeah. No, I've got a couple of their songs I can play, but he's got such a unique timing with the way he plays bass that it can actually be challenging. But Electric Wizard was actually the first doom metal band that got me into doom metal. Love Electric Wizard.
One dude said that Asmodeus got him back into music. Samael says his dad dedicated a riff to Lucifer which he puts into different songs at different times.
Oh,
Burn my offering in the fire pit outside.
Yes.
Little ceremonial one. Okay.
Can what? Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's appropriate. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I write. I've written a few different riffs. So just really simple stuff that I feel Satan likes. One of the things that that actually is Black Sabbath's Nativity in Black. That main devil tritone that they do at the opening of that, I will just sit in here and play that and trance out to it. It's just three notes that in the perfect combination do shift the atmosphere to a darker tone.
You play music at all?
I do not.
Me neither. Toasty says that Paimon helped him play the tong drum.
Nice.
I will say that recently, within probably the last 6 months, I've really begun to incorporate singing bowls a lot more, and that's probably the most musical thing I do. And strictly, I say that because I've really begun to see. I play different tracks for different rituals I'm doing, and the tone of the bowl itself can really find its home depending on the track. So I have begun to kind of meld singing bowl tones with whatever track I'm doing.
Yeah. So someone said they're about initiate through Tohu, one of the spheres beyond the cliff off. Belial rules one of the spheres beyond. It's called Bohu, meaning emptiness. Jose asked, so good luck with Tohu. Is Samael the father of Cain?
Oh. Okay. Well. Okay. So I got. No. I would say no. Well, I would say no. I would say Samael was the initiator of Cain. If we were to take the Cain story and look at the mythology of it, Cain rose up in rage to slay his brother. That is definitely an act of Samael, an act of destruction, an act of rage. And then he then went away from his father and took on Satan as his father, as perhaps we all do. You know, there is a thing within the whole legend of Cain that we on the black magic path are children of Cain, and Cain is a child of Satan. Those are just my initial thoughts. I know that there's a whole like black magic study of Cain and all of that, and I've looked into it a little bit, but not a ton. But that's just my initial thoughts.
Yeah, I do consider Cain to be the son of Samael. I don't know who his mother is, but he told me that he sacrificed Abel as an offering to his true mother. He didn't specify who. One interesting thing about him, he loves his parents and does not like it when they're disrespected.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably fall closer to Eric's understanding. I don't really do a lot of hierarchical ranking or association of familial with spirits. And that's really because I try to take whatever spirit I'm working with and apply it beyond the paradigm that it's written within. So I try to broaden my scope a little bit more rather than narrow on like connections, familial or otherwise. So I would much rather consider Samael, like an initiator of Cain and an encounter that Cain had that transformed him through Samelian energy. So in that regard, I would say he's a child of Samael, but only through the way we all are children of these spirits because we are affected by their presence in our lives.
Love it.
I do use familial relation a bit in my practice. I believe that people have basically spiritual parents, which is one or more entities that sort of shaped the blueprint of their soul. For me, it's Moloch and Lilith.
Do you think that can change as the person embraces other paths?
Well, I mean, they can be further altered for sure, but it's those two are the parents.
Okay.
And in my ideology. Hello, Star Ruby. Check out the woods. Someone said, Ruby said, check out the woods of Ypres. They were sad doom metal.
I've come across them. Aren't they from Canada? I think I don't have my phone to check it out. I'll check it out later. Woods of I know I'll play them. Yeah, what kind of rig are you playing through? So what I'm playing through is a Behringer. It's a 2-channel, pretty good bass. I don't know how many watts it has, but it's a lot. It's loud. I run it at about an 1/8 power, whatever. I don't use any compression. I set most of my equalizer bars on maximum, except for the last 2. I kind of do a curve with my equalizer bars, but I just set them where I want to set them. So that's my setup.
Samael's spiritual parents are Abraxas and Sophia. Also, his dad was a famous musician in the 70s. He was in a Hall of Fame. I didn't know we were going to get so many questions about music. That's cool.
Yeah, sad Canadian doom metal. I knew I recognized it. Canadian doom. So there are a couple Canadian doom bands. Also, what is it? Green Druid? Is it Green Druid? I think there's one called Green Druid that I really like. I think that's the name of it.
Oh, now we got a good one. We have one from Roblox. If someone has some kind of feeling of connection to the infernal divine, dreams of some demonic sigils, but tried to summon demons and it didn't work, is this normal?
Why are you summoning something that's already there? Like, it's already in your life. It's already presencing itself in many different forms. So pay attention, listen, engage with that spirit in whatever way it's initiating you, and stop trying to like put that spirit or demon in the box that you have built that says this is what divination is and this is what contact is. Because a lot of times people will think, oh, I didn't see the spirit, so I didn't successfully summon it. I didn't hear it. I didn't successfully summon it. When the spirit's actually all around you and giving you multiple signs of its presence, but you're just not recognizing them because you're focusing on other things.
Yeah, nice.
Bad hoes with good pussy. Is that us?
I think
Are we
we're
bad
Are
hoes?
we bad hoes with good pussy?
I feel like a
love
bad
that.
hoe.
I love it. If we're bad hoes with good pussy, I will take that all day long and all night and all day the next day.
So we're the mean girls now. Thugga said, "Can you give us some chakra opening techniques?"
Mine is I do two. I go down first and then I go up. So what I'll do is I'll imagine a bright light above me, above my head, and as I inhale, I'll let a waterfall of that light come on and fill my crown chakra. And then once I feel like my crown chakra has become full of that light, I let it waterfall over my third eye, over my throat, and just down each chakra, clearing it, filling it up, and cleansing it as it goes. And I specifically do that, the waterfall flowing through the front of my body. And then then once I've reached the root chakra, I let it drain out my legs, and I just feel like it's water at that point, just draining out my legs. And then I inhale energy and bring it up into the first chakra, and I just feel that I'll inhale several times and just give it attention until I can feel it gently opening up. And it does feel like a releasing of energy, a releasing of tension from each chakra, and just let it at its own pace. Inhale, fill it with energy, and there will just come a point, usually after a few breaths, that it just releases. And it does seem like it releases a type of steam, and so I'll feel that steam rising to the next chakra, and go all the way up with that.
Are there any, oh, you go ahead.
Yeah, I've got some chakra stuff. So I work with chakras a little bit differently than most traditional Western occultists. I don't view them in an up-down cycle. I actually view them as a cyclical down and up from the bottom to meet at the heart chakra. So whenever you want to begin opening or empowering your chakras, I would say get your ritual space in order, daily ritual, build up a ecosystem of demonic energy around your temple space, and then spend time drawing in energy from the top and the bottom simultaneously with each breath. So as you breathe in, you suck in energy from both and you meet in the heart. As you exhale, you allow that energy to both go back up and down. And with each breath, you're drawing in and expanding out. And you do that until, like, as you play with that and work it, you're going to begin to feel energy better in some chakras than others. And you just repetition, put the reps in until you have a clean feeling of flow amongst all of them, and then you can start working on more advanced techniques.
Awesome.
Are there any particular stereotypes or misconceptions about the Cliff-Off that are kind of everywhere that you're aware of or annoy you? Let's see. Mostly the idea that they want to destroy the world. Also, the idea that Malkuth and Nehemoth aren't part of the same tree. It's one tree, and those are the same sphere. Nehemoth is the primordial part. Malkuth is the created portion, which is smaller than the primordial part. But that's only true from a human perspective. From the perspective of a deity, there's no difference between Malkuth and Nehemoth.
I'll let you go ahead and field that one. So.
You don't do it.
Yeah.
Am I the only neo-Kabbalist?
I wouldn't call myself a Kabbalist by any means, but the thing that I've come across a lot with specifically with the evil chiefs is that they hate humans, and they might hate certain kinds of humans who approach them with certain spirits about them, but they love certain workers who come with an authentic heart. And so that, because that is one of the big things that people say is like they hate humans and they're trying to drive you to destruction, or they're trying to drive you to even to suicide or whatever. Now, like maybe you, but not me, never. I've actually found the exact opposite, that all the evil chiefs, they've been challenging. Like some of them have been really challenging, and they'll even send me on all kinds of different tasks for my own self-improvement before they even talk to me. But then by the time I reach them, it's just open invitation and open arms. So yeah.
That's kind of why in my personal practice I've just never been really drawn to Clepothic work, and it's because to me it really does seem like working that system hinges on that belief that these are those types of deities, and you're working your way through them to overcome all of their challenges. And yeah, like that, there is parts of that, but the like core inference that they are negative and want what's worse for us, I don't find accurate, and it seems very ingrained in that system.
Yeah.
So, despite the fact that you aren't big on the cliff off, you actually basically taught me my initiation through Thagirion in your book Evoking Eternity, which you had descriptions of the spheres. I've cited those in my work, but you said that you can call the forces of a Clepothic sphere simply by chanting the name of the sphere. Now, I was bouncing around between a lot of different techniques. At some points, I was using Temple of the Blacklight techniques. I know I used a Michael Ford technique. I know I used Thomas Carlson technique. But when I got to Thagirion, I just chanted the name like you wrote. Well, I was clutching a quartz crystal, but that was the only addition to what you said. And it worked just as well as the others. All of them worked. All of the authors I named, all their techniques worked. And eventually I started mixing them together and then just making my own,
That's what you have to do.
Yeah, that's generally the route to true personal power, is finding out what works and then adapting it to what really works.
Yeah. I have not tried Asenath Mason's Clepothic sphere workings, but I have, tried some of her stuff. I have read a lot of her stuff. I've only seen good shit.
I don't know if we have them in stock anymore, but we used to carry, we might still carry them over at Becomealivinggood, her Clepothic circle. And she has sigils that she's channeled for each of the Clepothic spheres. And so I just sit in there and just turn counterclockwise, and it does. It's kind of like the meta god type of thing, where they all combine to open one large gateway in the center of that circle. I love Asenath's sorcery. She's always been really on point with her stuff.
I'm not going to name names because this person doesn't want to be named, but I dated someone who was just getting started with the cliff off. She'd been a witch a few years longer than me, but I've been a Satanist a lot longer than her. So that was cool. That part of the relationship was cool. So her trial for initiating through the realm of Baal, known as Harab Serapel, the Ravens of Dispersion, her trial for that initiation was dating me, and dating her was part of me redoing the Abyss.
Okay. Sounds like a lot of my ex-relationships.
Okay, for those curious and new to VK, VK is a free PDF to work through the Clepothic spheres on his WordPress. Oh yeah, but the point was the girl was doing Asenath Mason's methods, and I can tell you she was getting results because I'm one of the results. Favorite type of barbecue?
Oh, honey chipotle.
Someone just said whisper demonic spirits into people's ears. That'd be funny to do.
I like the Carolina vinegar-based sauces. Those are good. Or Tennessee vinegar.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Whispering demonic spirits into people's ears is something easy to do if you make music or any kind of audio that you put out there. It's not even subliminal. Just go ahead and whisper the spirit's name every now and again.
Does the Book of Mormon make you baller at some point? Baller?
It makes me a little baller sometimes a little less baller. Mormon missionaries are really good at playing basketball, and so that might be.
How to join the Illuminati. we have terrible news. There isn't one.
Oh, you charge them so much money.
The powers that be are not satanic. We're the adversaries. They don't like us.
I'll tell you this. It involves several gift cards bought from your local CVS.
Wow. Opinion on the afterlife. I've been a witness to reincarnation, and so I plan on coming back. I hope I hope that as I'm getting old enough that I'm pretty sure I'm about to die, because I do want to die old at this point in my life, that I'll reach out with my psychic vision and find my next incarnation, find the next body I'm going to inhabit. And then my greatest hope is that I would die and exhale, and then my next breath would be the first breath I take just a moment later as I'm born into my next body. Seamless transfer.
Speaking of reincarnation, somebody once gave me some past life gnosis about myself that I strongly disagree with. That gnosis, it was that I was a reincarnation of Oedipus. Oh God, wait, why did I say that? My group chat makes fun of me for mommy issues. God damn it! No!
Is your dad still alive?
Yeah. Do you believe in the soul contract thing before you get sent to the next life? Yeah, there are lessons you have to learn. If you don't learn the lessons you needed, you will relive a simulation of your life. I mean, if you kill yourself before you reach the lessons you needed, you will go to the suicide pits, wherein you will experience a simulation of that incarnation again and again until you get those lessons. Then you can move on. Who's Oedipus? So Oedipus is a fictitious character from, I think, Greek theater, who killed his dad and then unknowingly started fucking his mother, his own mother. He didn't know he'd killed his dad. Then the mom finds out, she gouges her eyes out with brooches, and I think Oedipus either gets exiled or dies.
With the brooches, like he got her for a gift or something. It was like something with the brooches that was like, yeah, a special gift that he like sacrificed everything for. Yeah, no, that was a beautiful story. Check it out.
Oh, so that's why my eyesight's so bad. No. Karma.
I thought it was the Odin thing.
Oh. Yo, I did have an Odin thing.
I know. You didn't even have to say it. I knew you had an Odin thing.
I was
the spirit that is within you is also within me, my friend.
What I'm talking about is we were talking about metagods earlier. There's one behind the 22 archdemons that Tunnels of Set named Sithrakor. So I got told that Sithrakor was going to show me her true form. So the spirits were telling me like, hey, we're gonna practice. You're gonna focus on something, and you're gonna not. You're gonna focus on a point, and you're only going to look at that with your peripheral vision. Don't look directly at it. So I tried my best not to. Every time I did, I would feel like I was about to go blind. This went on for hours, but eventually it took this form of a big black serpent, opened its jaws like right here, and said, "Look at my face directly." I was like, "No." He was like, "Give me one eye." I was like, "Okay." All I needed was an Odin metaphor, and now I'm doing it. Oh, it takes the black serpent using Odin as a metaphor, and it was a very transformative experience. I thought I was insane for the next day, but it was very empowering.
Hell yeah. Hail King Paimon. Just saw that in the chat. I'll join in on that.
Hell yeah. Hail Paimon. Is Belial more efficient with what you need than he is with what you want?
Everything is better with what you need rather than what you want. In fact, if you want something, try to see in your ritual if you can make yourself need it. Make yourself feel that want being cranked up to a desperate need, to a burning need. The ritual is powered by your emotion, so bring as much emotion to the table as you can.
And yeah, Belial will absolutely focus his attention on the things that are needed in your life, the changes that need to be made, rather than the fruition of the things that you want. At least in my experience, it's very much been that.
Mm-hmm.
So, which demon would be best for sending someone's soul to the lake of fire. I've heard good things about lucifuge. Soul damnation. I think Moloch's good for that.
The lake of fire is something that I've not sent other people to, but that I've awakened and stepped into myself to burn away the person that I was and to rise from it as not a completely new being, and to rise from it as a blank slate ready to be imprinted.
So, someone asked, how do the demonic ranks work? King, Prince, Marquis. So their ranks are massive oversimplifications of how demons interact with one another. So, and of course, those are being communicated. In the case of the Goetia, these ranks were being communicated to medieval people. So they're using medieval lingo, king, prince. But again, these are acausal, like multidimensional, immortal, atemporal beings. So they don't just have one hierarchy. They have multiple simultaneous hierarchy that they occupy different ranks in for different purposes. That's why, some of the lords of the Ecliphoth are lower ranked in the Goetia.
Makes sense.
Any thoughts on the ranks?
Well, somebody actually really did hit the nail on the head with a comment, which is a lot of the Grimoire writings really are kind of blinds. So there are correspondences there. So if they say Duke, that corresponds to Venus, which also corresponds to the element of copper. So it's kind of a way of reading between the lines for people who are initiated into it.
So someone asked what the highest rank was. We'll give different answers here,
Yeah.
but the highest rank is, I think it's a being named Sanatos, which is Satanas backwards. Now, Rain, COVID girl, discovered her, and I discovered him. He can be either if he wants, but that's who I see as the one true king of demons. Satan and Sanatos and Shaitan are all echoes of the inexorable one. Don't try to summon that. Sanatos, be very careful. Satan's a lot more approachable than him. But I say Sanatos is above even Satan. But that's just you probably never even heard of that.
I'll give the answer that I codified in Kingdoms of Flame and that I stick to this day. The spiritual hierarchy is as follows: the operator and everything else. And so you're the one contacting, communicating, invoking these deities, or not invoking them for the ones that you're not to invoke. In whatever case that is, it's all centered around you. And so you're the highest one in the hierarchy. You call Lucifer, and Lucifer does come. It's amazing how all of these gods are very respondent to us. They're very easy to come to us when called.
Yeah, my thoughts would echo that, wherein the rankings, to VK's point, are kind of echoes of a medieval inclination to do that. And there are also correspondences hidden in, but when it comes down to brass tacks, is this demon higher on the tier than this other demon? I don't know what you're asking.
Yeah.
Like, regarding what? What type of power? What type of influence? These are different spirits that are radically different for different purposes, and to try to order them in ranks amongst each other, I don't find it be an effective way to spend your time.
Yeah, I can say that I treat, kings and dukes the same.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Now, I was gonna say, so it seems that some of the kings really like being called king. Like King Paimon really likes that king before Paimon. Or does my mind hold a special significance for Paimon that I wish to place that king before his name?
Yep.
Okay, chicken and egg conversation there, but
Absolutely.
yeah.
And is it even the word king, or is it just the respectful title?
Right,
Before.
yeah.
You know?
You know how Satan is called the Prince of Darkness?
Mm.
Got this from Aquino, since he keeps coming up. I understand why they always said prince instead of king. He figured it out. Aquino did. He said it's because prince comes from the Latin word princeps, meaning first.
That's his take. I've got a different take than his. I don't argue with what he says. The principes of power or the principalities of power or 100%. My take is that when I'm talking to the spirit of darkness itself, I'll call that a Lord of Darkness. The Lord of Darkness. When it becomes manifest in a form, a person becoming possessed by it, myself becoming possessed with it, it then becomes the prince. It is the transference of the, again, we're back to the wave function perhaps. As an electron, it's a prince, and as a wave, it's a, or as a particle,
It's a lord.
yeah. Wrong.
So I'll take one more question from Circus Cult. What is my theory on the thoughts of aliens, of demons being aliens? I don't view it that way. I know JS, he has said that he does at some point. You might still hold that opinion. What about y'all?
I mean, it's possible. I wouldn't limit some of the demons I work with to being influential solely on this planet, but I would hesitate heavily to prescribe to them a alien identity through which they're just interacting with us as a god, whereas they're a god to us, but in true form they're actually just an alien. I don't believe that at all.
Yeah.
But to say that they are solely terrestrial beings, I don't know if that's accurate as well.
Yeah, I kind of think similarly that first off, I'm going to say both exist. As far as I'm concerned, both aliens and demons are very real. They're different kinds. They're occupying different spaces of reality, though, and I think if at the most, aliens the Azazel force might be able to take possession of an entire fleet of aliens on a craft and get them to do what they want to do because they're more attuned to that and open to it. I don't know if that's the case. I'm just throwing out a hypothetical, but I think these demons are a force that can inhabit and can move beyond any form and can possess multiple forms. So no, I don't think it's a gray alien in his spaceship meditating and projecting himself to me when I summon him. I think I'm connecting with a force that's beyond form.
Yeah.
So, I think I'll close it out there.
This has been a lot of fun. Thank you.
This has been great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course.
Well, thank you, sir.
Hail the Infernal Empire.
Hail the Infernal Empire.
Hail the Infernal Empire.
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Ha